if you're a UNC basketball fan, I want to know how you feel about this. We have a quote from Hubert Davis, the head coach of UNC basketball, and it is attributed to, or I should say, hat tip to, Brett Friedlander. Hoops HQ is the place that I caught the quote for the first time. It is about a couple of highly rated freshmen, Derek Dixon and Isaiah Dennis. During UNC's summer workouts, they've been playing well. And here's the quote. I feel like I do have to set this one up. Like it's like I need like everybody get ready, prepare yourself. If you are a diehard UNC fan, you may want to sit. Here we go. About Derek Dixon and Isaiah Dennis. You can see it in the way they compete and play, Davis said. It wouldn't surprise me that by the time they leave Carolina, it wouldn't surprise me to see both of their jersey numbers up in the rafters. That is talking a big game. The way they compete and play makes you think that their number would be up in the rafters. Now, there's two ways to think about this. I'll tell you my gut reaction, and then I worked as hard as I could to make this make sense. My gut reaction is, what are you doing here? My gut reaction is UNC is coming off, quite frankly, by UNC standards, which are admittedly very, very high, a bad season. They squeaked into the NCAA tournament. Some don't think they even should be or should have squeaked into the tournament. And when I say some, it's, you leave our state, there's probably a majority. Didn't think they deserved to be in the NCAA tournament. They did win a game in the first four, but then they kind of got run off the road, right? That first round, not first round, whatever. I don't even know what to call it. The first game of the round of 64 for them was not a good one.
Yeah, it's first round.
So, yeah, it goes first four, then first round. All right, whatever. My point is, last year, not a good year for UNC. So everybody on the team this year, whether they were around last year or not, the incoming newbies or the Seth Trimbles, it doesn't matter. Everyone on the team this year already has loads and loads of pressure on them. It's already, you better not let that happen again. It's already, if things go like they did last year, you know how those conversations end. So there's a ton of pressure on these guys already. Not to mention just with being a high-profile freshman at UNC, even when things are going well, there's a lot of pressure on you because UNC fans are passionate, and they should be. Then I jumped to the Wayback Machine, right? And this hat tip to everybody on social media. There's a ton of people that pointed it out. There's a quote from 2023 from Hubert Davis about two highly rated freshmen coming in, DeMarco Dunn and Dontrez Styles. Am I getting this right? 2021? Am I getting the
Yeah, I think it's 2021.
Right, typo. Anyway, it says, by the time that they leave Carolina, they're going to be two of the best players ever to play in Carolina history. I really believe that. Now, needless to say, they did not go on to be two of the best players in Carolina history. They were very high prospects, but no disrespect to those guys. I would say that extra pressure, they didn't live up to it. So to do it again is kind of crazy. Now, here's my flip, right? Because your gut reaction isn't always the right reaction, right? People tell you to trust your gut, and I think for the most part it's good advice, but it's not always the right reaction. So I thought about it from this prospect, this side of things. Is there a world where two guys that are going into a very tough situation, right? They're being tasked with rescuing UNC basketball along with their teammates, and they're two of the higher rated people coming in. Could this be a situation where they leave that article, or when people send it to them, they leave flush with confidence because their coach is feeding his dudes with dreams and hopes, right? Is this Hubert Davis feeling like they need a little jump? Maybe behind the scenes, we don't know, but they're being a little passive in pickup, right? Maybe they're deferring a little too much, and he wants these guys to go out there and play like their jerseys are destined to be next to Jordan's. Maybe. This is one of those situations where how it plays out will very much decide what this comment is place in history is going to be, whether we'll be giggling about it 5 years from now or whether we'll be excited by it 5 years from now.
I say, oh, Hubert called it. Or it's like, remember when Hubert said this? To me, I think it puts a pretty high expectation on two guys who have not seen the floor yet in terms of, hey, we want you to be out there with the likes of what R.J. Davis became, what Tyler Hansborough became, what all these other guys became that, Worthy, Jordan, all these guys that, again, hanging up in the rafters at Carolina, which there is a strict criteria in order to have your name hanging up there in the rafters, whether it's a retired number or just your jersey name as honoree. That's a pretty high bar and standard. You're expecting these guys to play at first or second team All-American level. That's a pretty high expectation for guys who have come in and, again, have not even laced up their sneakers yet to play in an actual game.
Yep.
That's a pretty high bar to set on. And to be honest, if they don't come out and play that way, then it's like, well, okay, what's wrong with them? Or if Hubert Davis doesn't give him a lot of minutes early on, because DeMarco Dunn only played about 4 minutes a game his freshman year. So wait a second, you thought this guy was going to be capable of having his jersey in the rafters. Why aren't you playing him?
That was, again, when I was doing my devil's advocate flip and trying to see it from the other, I thought if maybe that could be it, which is like maybe he's looking at his plans for this year and these guys aren't, or one or both of them isn't going to be a huge part of it. And now this comment is what he comes back to when they're frustrated with like playing time or something. Like, listen, man, I still believe in you. I think your jersey's going in the rafters. But this year, it's about getting bigger and stronger and working on your jump shot, right? Like it's almost like I'm gonna overpromise for where you'll be 3 or 4 years from now, so I can maybe undercut on what your expectations are for your freshman year. I actually, when done right, I am kind of a fan of coaching through the media, right? It is a delicate beast because there's certain times where coaches say things in the media that very, very obviously are meant for one person, right? It's like, oh, he wants that guy to hear that message. It's delicate because everybody else hears it too, right? It's delicate because, you have to make sure the player is built in a way that they don't like that. You're not airing dirty laundry of somebody who doesn't want it aired. But with that being said, it is like it's delicate in that it can blow up in your face or it can be a glorious thing. I don't think you use it often. I think when you use it, you better have thought about it. It is one of the ways I think coaches are almost diabolical. Diabolical might not be the right word, but like very intentional, right? It's the example I always use. I don't even know if it's a good example anymore. But when Aaron Rodgers said immunized instead of vaccinated, it was like, oh, he knew exactly what he was doing. It's almost that where a coach, says something to the media and it's like, whoa, that's big. Do you think he meant to make a prediction like that? And he's like, no, not only did I mean to make a prediction like that, I said it that exact way for a reason, right? I didn't say by the time they leave, I think he'll be a top 10 draft pick. I said he's going to have his number in the rafters. Like I think there's, when handled right and when handled with caution, I think that that matters, and it can work. We'll see if it does.